Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. Did everybody stay up and watch the election last night? It was quite exciting, right? I guess the Donald will be our new president, and apparently the stock market likes it. Stock market booming, right? Dow up 1,300, NASDAQ up 400 as I'm recording, S&P up over 100. This is great stuff, right? Everything's fixed now. Everything's going to the moon. Moon boys are back in force. Okay, all right. So anyways, I'm happy that the Donald's in there, saved us from socialism. We're still going to try to go with capitalism in our country, and I like that. I think that's a good thing, right? The messages I've received already today, right? Mike, your short position, it's getting obliterated, just destroyed, right? That's what people telling me, right? Look, I'm short the Qs at 498. We're at 502. I'm okay with that. Look, a double top is still in play, right? Made a top back in July at 502. We're at 502. I will see if it continues higher. A lot of people think it will. I still think it's coming down. Now, why do I think the NASDAQ's coming down? Look at Warren Buffett. He sold all his Apple stock. I don't know if he sold all of it. Sold billions and billions of dollars, right? He's sitting on $300 billion in cash. If we're going in a crack up, boom, Warren Buffett's an idiot. I don't think Warren Buffett's an idiot. Granted, I don't like some of his business dealings, but hey, the dude is smart. He's making a lot of money. He's got out of Apple, got out of most of his stocks, and he's sitting on the cash because he knows it's going to come in. Now, I'm betting it's still going to come in. Now, the other comments I got this morning, it's an exciting day, right? The markets were moving. Look at Mike, your gold position. It's getting obliterated. Look, we're down $70. I think it's going to go lower. I think we'll get down to 2,500. And I'm a buyer. Actually, I'm a buyer of the miners. I lightened up on my miners. I bought them all back today. I will love those miners. Miners are the most undervalued section of the markets right now. I like the miners. So yeah. Anyways, but here's what people don't get. Right? All right. So gold is down $70. I think silver's down a buck 20. Okay, right, obliterated. Anyways, nothing goes straight up. These are the top performing assets there are. They're outperforming the S&P, outperforming the Dow, outperforming the NASDAQ, right? The miners are up like 36%, S&P like up 18% for the year. Miners are almost double, and they pulled back. I got an opportunity. People don't get that. You see, people think I lost today, right? Because gold's down $70. Look, I started stacking what was $300. It doesn't go straight up, right? I still have the same amount of gold today as I did yesterday, right? And now I get to add to it at a lower price. Now, I would use caution. It may come down to 2,500. Some people are calling 2,100. I'm going to be buying these dips. This is an opportunity. Granted, the dollar got strong today, right? Dollar shooting up, and we'll see if that's going to stay that way. I think it's a temporary move. Look I love the Donald, right? And he's in there. Okay, now, I don't like his policies because he prints too much money, right? And I think he's going to continue to print too much money, but at least he's a capitalist, right? He's a capitalist and he wants our country to grow, right? Where the other one was a socialist, and I'm just not ready for the socialist in this marketplace, right? Okay, so anyways, I think that it's a good thing, but I do think that we're going to continue to markets are going to continue to come down. I don't think the moon boys are going to get this one. Maybe they do. Now, what's it going to do to the housing market? Let's talk about that, right? Is it good for the housing market? Well, the interest rates are skyrocketing, right? Interest rates are going up today. I'm telling you, you're going to see mortgage rates over 10%. Now, this is just my take. I believe we're going to see them over 10% because I see inflation. Inflation's going to come. Donald, he's going to spend. He's a spender. He loves to spend. right? Now he's got Elon in there. Maybe Elon can figure out how to cut costs, but what's it going to do to the housing market? Well, so far mortgage rates are skyrocketing today, right? Mortgage rates are going up. Now, now I say there's over 10 million homes that are going to be delinquent, right? That they're going to be not able to pay their mortgages, not able to pay for them. These houses are going to go into foreclosure. Now, how many went into foreclosure during the great financial crisis? During the great financial crisis, only 2 million homes went into foreclosure. 2008, right? 2 million homes went into foreclosure. I think we're going to get 10 million homes into foreclosure this time. Now, why is that? Because the bubble is bigger, right? Now, D.R. Horton, they came out with their earnings report, and it wasn't very good. Their income dropped by 15%. Now, that's fascinating. My stock went down a little bit. That's all right. I'm not short the home builders yet. But anyways, D.R. Horton, their stock kind of went down, right? Okay, so that's interesting. But now, here's the thing. Out of all the new homes, these are new homes. D.R. Horton, they're a home builder, right? And they're selling new homes, right? Okay, so they're selling these new homes, and my notes keep falling off today. But anyways, they're selling these new homes. And here's the very interesting fact. 60% of these new homes were built were sold. They were sold, right? 60% of them with either an FHA loan or a VA loan. FHA loan or a VA loan. Now, what does that mean? FHA loans about 3%. VA loans, you can get them as low as 1% down. So it's not that much skin in the game. $600,000 house, you got to come up with, well, $18,000, maybe only $6,000. Now, this is interesting. I know a little bit about the FHA. And we don't do many of them here because our houses are above the limits. There's a limit of $930,000 or something like that in my area on FHA loans, right? So people can't get them when they're buying $2-3 million houses. Can't get an FHA loan. But back in the day, I used to sell some FHA loans, and I want to talk about one of them here. Okay, so I had this couple, they got married, right? Okay, they need to get a house. So we went out house shopping, and they found one they liked, about $650,000. Anyways, it was a nice house, and okay, great. Let's see your financials. How are you guys doing? Well, their combined bank accounts totaled about $12,000. $12,000, that's interesting, right? Okay, so $12,000 they have, and they want to buy a $650,000 home. Well, you got to go FHA. The government's going to help you. Government backed, right? Okay, so the government's going to give them a loan for 3% down. Well, 3% down, we bid the house down to $600,000, put the offer, and it got accepted at $600,000. So 3%, they need to come up with $18,000. They only have $12,000. Well, what the good realtor do? Uncle Mike here kicked in, he kicked in $6,000, right? Okay, so $6,000, they got 12, that brings it up to 18. And actually, the seller of the house, they kicked back some also. So, okay, so they ended up, after all was said and done, seller kicked back like $3,000. Now, on FHA, it's kind of complicated, but they were able to actually give them $3,000. So they ended up buying this house, $600,000 house with $9,000. $600,000 house, they got $9,000 into it. Okay, that's great, right? All right, well, 2 years later, I get the call, right? So they got married. Now they're going to get divorced. They hate each other. They want me to sell the house. All right, well, houses went up. This is really good, right? We actually ended up selling this house for $950,000. After closing costs, they got about $300,000. So they turned $9,000 into $300,000 in 2 years' time. Now, that's incredible, right? Well, it's a double-edged sword, right? It's great when houses are going up, but when houses are going down, it's kind of the opposite, right? So if you only have, like, for example, these ones that, like, say, D.R. Horton sells you a home for $600,000, you put $18,000, so you got $18,000, right? Well, you bought in phase one. Now, D.R. Horton, they've moved on to phase two. What's phase two? Well, it's the ones they're building right next door to you. Now, you paid $600,000, and the new ones are only selling for $500,000. Well, that's terrible, right? You're not that happy, really. Well, okay, so here's the thing, right? So, okay, so they're selling for $500,000, but they're bigger, they're nicer, they've added amenities to them. home. And here's the other thing, D.R. Horton, they're buying down their mortgages. They didn't buy down your mortgage. You paid $600,000, didn't buy your mortgage down, you 7%, right? Anyways, they're buying these mortgages down to 5-4%, because they're kicking in money. And they got the nice amenities and the bigger square footage, and you're stuck. You're stuck because you bought in phase one, and now it's phase two. It's the double-edged sword of the FHA loan, right? So you only got 3% down. Well, what are you going to do? You could be an idiot and keep paying, or you can hand it back to the bank and go buy one of these nice big homes right next door to the one you just handed back to the bank. Okay, so that's fascinating, right? Well, anyways, that's what's happening. Now, I have a client that this exact same thing happened to. Now, I advised him not to buy his house. Anyways, but he wanted that new construction. Went up there to bought from Lennar, right? Bought for, I don't know, $689. Phase one. Now phase two's there, and it's like $549, $140,000 less. And a lot of transactions are falling apart right now. Why? Well, because they can't qualify for the loan is the number one reason. The second reason is they can't get insurance. Look, if you live in Florida, you're not going to be able to buy a house because you're not going to be able to get homeowners insurance. Now, my friend, he bought in California. What do we have here? We have fires. No one would give him insurance. He called 3 companies, couldn't get house insurance to close the transaction. What's Lennar do? Don't worry about it. We'll insure you for a year, right? So they gave him an insurance policy for a year. I asked my client, well, what happens after the year? They really don't know. Maybe he has to self-insure. Now, granted, they bought with cash, so their money's already gone. $140,000 got wiped out in less than a year because phase two, that's a secret I'll give you. If you're buying new construction, be the last person to buy in the complex. Be the very last one. You want the last house. You want to make sure all the others are sold. Because if they're not sold, what happens? Well, they're going to lower the price on you. Why are they going to lower the price on you? Because the housing market is softening, right? And mortgage rates, they're skyrocketing today. We got the Donald in, right? He's going to fix everything. I don't know. He's going to make those houses come down if he keeps the mortgage rates up, if he keeps inflation up. Look, it was only 2% under the Donald, but the thing is, he wasn't the reason for that, right? And Biden wasn't really the reason for it going up to 9 or 10%. It's going to come roaring back. Why? Because they're spending money into oblivion, right? It's just the central bankers are printing too much money, and that's really what inflation is. That used to be the definition of inflation. They changed the definition to say that, well, that's not the definition anymore, because then you can blame the government. Definition is increase in prices, and the increase in prices is those greedy corporations are gouging you. No, that's not it. They're printing too much money. They're going to continue to print too much money. That's the one thing I don't like about the Donald. He loves to spend money, and he's going to print and print and print and print. Now, he's telling you he's going to increase productivity. He's got that Elon guy in there, and they're going to make America really prosperous really quickly. Well, maybe they can. Maybe they can. I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure if they can do that. I hope they can. Look, I think this is a good thing for our country. I think it's good that the election was clear-cut and a decisive winner. I didn't expect to see a winner for another week or two, but we got a decisive winner. Now, I know the Dems are going to argue. They're going to say it was rigged. They're going to go into their song and dance. They're going to recount everything. And you know what's funny is Kamala, she's the one that's got to certify the election. Do you think she's going to certify the election with all the names she was calling the Donald? I tell you, I think she thought he was Hitler or something, right? So she's got to certify the election for who she calling Hitler. I don't know. It's going to get ugly at the end, but right now it's a clear-cut decision. Stock market's loving it. I mean, 1,200 points on the Dow, 400 on the NASDAQ. Now, I am short that NASDAQ. I'm not getting obliterated yet. I have a position in gold. I still have the same amount, and now I'm going to get some more. Going to go down to my coin dealer today and pray that he has some in stock. Oh, I really hope he has some silver in stock. This is the cheapest asset on the planet, And I think it's going to be short-lived, these dips. We're going to see the dips. I've been telling you, nothing goes up in a straight line. I've been expecting this. I'm expecting 2,500 on gold. Some people are saying it's going to get down to 2,100. I think that'd be great. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you're going to get that opportunity. If it gets down to 2,500, I'll be in there buying away. But I'm a stacker, right? I got to go see if I can get some coins today. They may already be sold out. I don't know. But this is the thing. There's opportunities now, right? A lot of opportunities when the market moves like this. A lot of opportunities. Dollar shot way up, gold shot way down, and Bitcoin. He's going to be the Bitcoin president. Look at, I don't know. Bitcoin's up 4,000 or 5,000 today. Very interesting. Very interesting. We'll see if he can push Bitcoin to $1 million. You know, it's so funny. All the Bitcoiners, they didn't want the government involved. Now they're like, please go buy some Bitcoin for us so we can get out, so we can get our money, you know, take it out. Look, they wanted to be decentralized. Now they're just begging to be centralized. They wanted to be out of the system, and now they got, what, 20 ETFs? Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. I love this stuff. If you like this stuff, give me the thumbs up. Punch the subscribe button. Everybody get out there. Have a great day, and we'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.